This is Piers Morgan Live. I want to ask you about Lance Armstrong, because there is a man who for a long time was put up as the great American sporting icon, the most inspiring, the most formidable, the great champion, the seven times Tour de France winner, and then it all came crashing down. But what was the moment for you when the blinkers maybe came off and you realized he is a cheat?
Well, I think the evidence was accumulating year after year, and there was so much smoke, you figured there had to be fire. But at one point last year, he dropped the case. He just said, it's gone too far, and his statement was, I can't put up with this witch hunt anymore. For him to quit, because he was always, in contrast to a lot of guys who were involved with performance-enhancing drugs, he was always quick to challenge anybody, to take them to court, to call them a liar, to say, get me on the air. In fact, one time several years ago, I was in that seat filling in for Larry King for a week, and one of these accusations came out in L'Equipe, or L'Equipe, the French newspaper, and he actually called me. He was savvy enough, he called me. He knew that a sports guy was going to be sitting in this seat, and that it was seen internationally, would be seen in Europe. He said, I want to go on for the full hour and refute these allegations. And I asked him every challenging question I could think of, every skeptical question. He was very smooth. He never wavered. He was very, very assertive.
He lied to you for the hour.
Right. He lied to me, and he lied to everybody else. So again, for those who may not be clear on this, you are flatly saying, regardless of the fact that you have criticisms of the protocol, even if the protocol was correct, there's no way they could have found EPO in your urine because you're flatly saying you never used it.
When I peed in that bottle, there wasn't EPO in it. No way.
He was a good liar, wasn't he?
He was a very good liar because he was intelligent, and he had a series of facts, or what he purported to be facts, rather than evasions, and he did have the one thing going for him, that he had been tested repeatedly in and out of competition and never failed a drug test.
And we now know all that had happened was he'd gone to ever more elaborate scientific ways of avoiding the testers.
And then, of course, with the Livestrong Foundation and all the good work that he did on behalf of cancer research and victims of cancer, that won him sympathy.
But Bob, I don't wear that anymore. I think the whole Livestrong thing was a cover, and I hate to say it, and I hate to be that cynical, but my problem with Lance Armstrong is I think he built that whole edifice around himself to protect himself from the rampant cheating that went on for almost that entire period.
And one big difference between Armstrong and other athletes involved with PEDs is that to Americans at least, not to Europeans, but to Americans, Lance Armstrong was cycling. The truth is, most Americans don't know who...
He was bigger though, wasn't he? He made it. He was America for a long time. He was a winner. He never quit. He was inspiring. He beat cancer. He went back and won again.
It was about him. You could root, and many people do, for Tiger Woods because they find him a compelling golfer. They don't necessarily embrace everything about him personally. All right? And there are other athletes who make a long list. But with Armstrong, since Americans by and large don't care about cycling, it was all about their feeling about him. They had to believe in him. So this fall is even greater than the fall of some others.
How did you feel that he lied so spectacularly like this, right across a desk? For an hour on television around the world? He looked you, Bob Costas, in the eye, one of the most respected men yourself in American sport, and just sold you a complete pack of lies.
You know, I didn't take it personally. I just thought that was his deal. You know.
Did he ever apologize to you?
No. I'm sure it's a long list, and he hasn't gotten to me yet. He's got a lot of apologizing to do.